Yes, that's why he said that we have in the previous we say that 240 plus or minus 6%. This is a rated in Qatar. Rated residential voltage, that is distribution voltage level, is 240 plus or minus 6%.
6%.
Yes, regulations. In India, we have plus or minus 5%. Here we have plus or minus 6%. 240 plus or minus 6%. So here our objective is to find this E naught. Okay, to find the E naught, we may use the 4 different methods. Each and every method is own advantage and disadvantages are there. But just remember these 4 methods, and especially the first method we call as a synchronous impedance method, or we call as a EMF, electromotive force. The second we call as ampere turns, or called as MMF, magnetomotive force. And this method we call as a pessimist method. This method we call as an optimist method. So this question asked in the exam. Which method is called as an optimist method, like this? ASA stands for American Standard Association. So Porteous triangle method, or because of ZPF method, we will get the good accuracy. But they have a question from the first 2 one. That is especially the word optimist and pessimist. So in your options, sometimes they mention the synchronous method, sometimes they call as a EMF method. That's why we need to remember these 2 words, synchronous impedance or EMF. Sorry, EMF. Ampere turns or EMF. Now we have a parallel operations. So these topics also important. They may ask that exam, because this question we need in the real transaction field. The cascading, but in the electronics we use the word cascading. Here we are using called the parallel operations. Suppose our load require 100. Our load capacity is 100 MVA. We have planned to build a new extension area. That X area needs 1000 kVA, 100 MVA. So now, what we plan? So we need 100 MVA. So that's why we procure 100 MVA alternator to meet our load. Okay, to meet our load, we have an alternator. The alternator capacity also 100 MVA. After some period, our requirement is increased. Our requirement increases. That increases is not through the 100 MVA. The requirement, the required 100 MVA is around the clock. 24 hours we need it. After some period, we need some load. That load is, for example, say it another 50 megawatt. Is increased to another 50 MVA. But this 50 MVA is does not require for the 24 hours, only for the 12 hours. So anyway, we need to buy a we need a new alternator capacity of 50 MVA. Correct? Because based on our calculations, we need a 50 MVA for 12 hours. So that's why we procure another alternator having a capacity of 50 MVA. Now this 50 MVA is connected to the load. We are not able to segregate the load because all put together. If you have a separate load, it means we can be able to connect it separately. We can do a load, but the load is increases. So we need to connect this 50 MVA to this one. So like this. If we connect it like this, what will happen? 24 hours, you will generate a voltage. It generates 50 MVA. Our load needs maintenance. But after 12 hours, we need to break up. That is also one of the main reasons. Okay, then we go for first we forget about the 24 hours, 12 hours. We need to add the one more thing. Now alternator, what is the basic definition? Alternator is converting mechanical energy to electrical energy. So that means it's connected to turbine. It is connected another turbine. Okay. The generated voltage depends upon what the EMF equation 4.44 F N pi I. So if we take the mechanical quantity N. So suppose if it is generate 1000, if rotate 1500 RPM means we will get 100 voltage. Assume for understanding. Okay. If it is 1459 means the voltage becomes reduced. If the voltage reduced means what will happen? It affects our system. We didn't bother about the alternator because we are investing more money to satisfy our customers. So we need to maintain the 100 voltage in the load side. If the alternator, the turbine speed is less speed means we will get a less voltage. Due to the less voltage, our load may be affected. So we need to maintain the constant voltage. Okay. So now to maintain the constant voltage, the turbine always rotate 1500 RPM, no issues. Now we have another alternator. This alternator also rotating in the second another turbine. So we are not able to predict that both the turbine rotating at the same speed. So that is a problem will occur. Okay. So now we forget about the second alternator. First alternator means we will get the same. Here we get the 440 volt, 100 voltage, 50 hertz. By this way, all the three phases we will get 100 voltage, 50 hertz. because this alternator rotates 1000 RPM. Now this alternator rotates 1000 RPM. So this will produce 100 voltage, 50 Hz. That means just like this. For easy to understand, like this. We have one voltage source, we have another voltage source. Both the voltage sources are connected like this. It is producing 100 voltage. It's also producing 100 voltage. But the capacity is different because to meet the high load, we like this. Okay? As of now, there is no problem. Suppose this RPM is rotated instead of 1500 RPM, it is rotated 1450. What will happen? The voltage is reduced. So simple understanding. Voltage is reduced. That means instead of 100, it becomes 95. So that is instead of 100 becomes 95. So if the voltage is mismatched, what will happen? There is not the balanced voltage. See here, we have a so we have a water in the two hands. Both the hands means no issues. If the one little raise means what will happen? The water flow from here to here. Backward. That condition we call as a circulating current. So our current must be flow from the source to load. But due to the reason, the current will flow to the source to load at the same time, the current will flow between the two sources. So due to the reasons, the circulating current will flow. Due to the circulating current, our system will fail. To avoid what we need to maintain the voltage. So what is the first condition for the parallel operation? Should be the parallel voltage, but must be the same. Same current. Now we are discussing about the AC. So we are producing three phases. Now we have 100 voltage, no issues. We are generating 100 voltage. But now, in other words, this is 100 angle 0. Here 100 angle minus 120. Here 100 minus 240 because three phases we have 120 degree phase shift. If we have all the three phases like this means no issue. If the phase is changed, what will happen? Even though we are generating 100 voltage, but the phase sequence is different means here also the circuiting current will flow. This also is affect our systems. So that's why we must maintain the proper phase sequence also. The phase sequence, phase angle, frequency, or all the three are interrelated. This depends upon the speed of the turbine. If the phase sequence changes means if the frequency changes, what will happen? The phase sequence changes and phase angle also changes. So, in exam point of view, we must remember the four red color bulbs. So, in your exam, they give the four options or three options. The fourth option, all the above like this, they give them. Phase sequence, line voltage, phase sequence, phase angle. And the third one, all the four items are mentioned that B, any A and B, only C like this, they give the options like this. So, in exam point of view, remember the four letters, four words, and is applicable for alternator and transformers because output of the alternator is AC, output of the transformer is also AC, so the condition is same. The condition for parallel operation is same. for alternator and transformers. Similarly, we have a conditions parallel operation in the generator also, the DC generator, but it's ruled out because in our exam they didn't ask. So we forget about that part. Next we have here synchronous motor. So in the other hand, now we discuss about the rotating machines. That is motor. So the motor is classified into. Hello sir, are you able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Good. AC motor. This AC motor classified into two. One is the synchronous motor. So another one we call as a induction motor. So we have here two motors, synchronous motor, induction motor. This induction motor sometimes called as a asynchronous motor. In synchronous motor, asynchronous motor or induction motor. So synchronous motor means the motor first before going to the motor means the electrical energy is converted to the mechanical energy. So output is a mechanical. Okay. Here the speed of the synchronous motor is a synchronous speed.
Particular word motor. Basically, something is motor, it means it is converting electrical into mechanical. Whether it's AC motor or DC
Yes,
motor.
the general motor is converting electrical energy to mechanical energy. Here we call it a AC motor. So the electrical energy in the form of AC supply. So that's why it's a AC motor. If the input is a AC supply means it is a AC motor.
Alternate mechanical to electrical, it will be either alternator, let's say, or
Yes. Okay. Now mechanical energy. Here we have a DC supply. That means it's a DC generator. Same mechanical energy, output is a AC, so we call it an alternator. On the other hand, we have a motor. Output is a mechanical energy. Here also output is a mechanical energy. The input is DC means it's a DC motor. If I giving a AC supply means it is a AC motor. So in the AC motor, we have a flex is there. That is alternating flex is there.
generator is the word that actually shows chemical to electrical.
Usually we say generator means mechanical is converted to electrical energy, and more specifically, generator represent AC stand, DC supply. Even though in our side we are using 250 kVA DG. We use, as I frequently told, 250 kVA DG. The DG stands for diesel generator. But that diesel generator will produce a AC supply. We didn't say it's alternator. 250 kVA alternator, we didn't use the word. Usually by the practice, always we say that diesel generator, diesel generator. But if you go to the specific cases, they mention that engine is a Perkin engine, Cummins engine. The alternator is this type of alternator. But commonly we use the word generator, especially in the construction. If you go to the power plant, we use the word alternator. We didn't use the word generator. In the construction, we frequently use the word generator. So the synchronous motor, the mechanical energy, the output is a synchronous speed, exactly synchronous speed. In the asynchronous motor, the speed does not equal to the synchronous speed, does not equal to synchronous speed. Either increase or decrease is always less than the synchronous speed. So induction motor, they are always less than the synchronous speed. See here, now, so this is the motor. As I told, electrical energy is converted to the mechanical energy. So here the electrical energy is connected, given to the stator winding. So this is the stator. So here they are giving the AC supply in the stator winding. Okay, what will happen? We are giving the AC supply to the winding. So that winding, they are giving the supply means the circuit is closed. So the current will flow. So due to the current flow, the flux is produced. Okay. The nature of the flux is time varying quantity because we are giving AC supply. So we are giving AC supply, it's a time varying quantity. So we are giving for understanding 440 voltage, 50 hertz. We are giving 440 voltage, 50 hertz. And assume that this stator having 2 poles. Then what is the speed? They are giving 440 voltage, 50 hertz. This alternate, the synchronous motor having 2 poles. So now the synchronous speed is 3000 RPM. So we know the formula 120 F by P. As I told, it's applicable for the alternator, it's applicable for the synchronous motors also. So now what is the speed of this synchronous motor? Must be a 3000 RPM. The synchronous speed for the synchronous speed of the flexible. The speed means the rotating per minute. But here the flex is rotating at the speed of 3000 RPM. It's not physically rotating. Right? Yet now I didn't use the word rotor. Yet now we use the word stator only. We forgot about these things. There is no rotor present there. Now we have a winding.
But if you don't have this data, then how we define this? Because we have 2 rows. Has to have.
Yes. So here we have 2 windings, 2 poles are there. So that means like this. Likewise, the two pole windings, the two poles are bounded by like this. Okay. Now we are giving 240 voltage, 50 amperes. What will happen? The circuit is closed. Circuit is closed, so current will flow. Current will flow. So the flux is produced. Flux is produced. That flux is time varying quantity. With respect to the time, the flux is rotating. Okay. So the rotating means that is the speed is there. Rotating means that speed is synchronous. That is 3000 RPM. That 3000 RPM is not physically the rotor because yet now we didn't have a rotor. I hope you understand this. So, now, this concept we understand like this. For example, here we have a R. So the three phases are displaced 120 degree phase shift. Okay. So imagine we have one ball. Imagine it's not physically that ball is not rotated. Imagine we have one ball. So 0 to 120 degree, the ball is in R phase. That is 0 to 120 degree, it is slightly moving from here to here. For 0 to 120 degree. Once 120 degree is reached means the ball is handed over to Y phase. Now the ball is turned to. So by this way, the ball is changing its color from RYB. By this way, the magnet is rotating. So I hope visually we are understand. So now the movement of the ball we call as a synchronous speed. Is 3000 RPM because we have a two-pole motor. Now, before going to the next concept, we have a reference point here. It is a magnet 1. Okay, this is the magnet 2. If the magnet 2, which is nearer to the reference point, means at that time is ready to. This is the magnet 1. It is the stationary position. It is the stationary position. This magnet 2 is a movable one. Movable, linearly is movable. Here and there is movable. And both are magnet. So we know magnet is close together. One particular number is maybe attracted or is maybe repelled. Two may be happen. Attraction will occur or repulsion. Both will happen. Will happen. So now we are for understanding purpose we take attractions.